Well, familiar sight, everyone. We're taking a live look right now over Yellowstone National Park. I know you're probably looking at your screen and going, well, that doesn't look like Boston. But there's one thing I want you to notice in the shot right here, and that is this. That is snow, believe it or not. And as a matter of fact, earlier on this week, they saw upwards of a dusting of inch to almost an inch in some places of snow in portions of Wyoming, all that area over there. So yes, it is coming. And it was actually rather chilly this morning. Some places dropped down into the 40s. Right now we're 70 degrees in Boston, though. Beautiful sunny day. And tonight, no exception to the rule, 58 degrees under very moony skies. I guess you can't really call it sunny, so moony is a default in that case. And tonight, the harvest moon is coming up as well. So that is something that will be pretty cool. We'll have more on that in just a moment. In the meantime, though, this is where we started. Look at all the blue on the map. We start very, very low in terms of the temperatures. We're bounding a little bit in the afternoon, all thanks to the intense sun, but the sunsets are getting earlier and earlier every day. In fact, we're before 7 p.m. for the sunset, which is pretty darn depressing. But how low did we go this morning? Well, I want to show you some of these low temperatures because we were very frigid, almost frosty, pun intended, if you get the chance. 55 degrees in Boston for the overnight low. However, out in Taunton, 40 degrees, New Bedford 43. Once you got away from the city, didn't have all that pavement holding on to the heat. So it started very, very low. And strangely enough, the Cape, which is normally a little bit warmer, they were the cold ones this morning, colder than everybody else. For instance, 43 degrees in Falmouth, 44 in Hyannis, dropping down to 38 on Martha's Vineyard simply because they are a great radiator, giving away all that heat. We didn't have any blanket or cloud cover last night to hold on to the heat, so that's why, since we have the dry air in place, all the heat just radiated outward into space. I want you to notice this, though. This is Julia. She's spinning off the coast. If you looked at radar maps of the Carolinas over the past couple of hours, you probably haven't seen all that much going on just because the majority of the moisture is offshore. But it's not that far away. Some of that moisture is going to be pulled into our forecast over these next few days. However, I want you to pay attention to tonight because you saw those clear skies over us. You'll be able to see the full harvest moon. Of course, not to scale. I tried to make a nice little graphic, but it's going to be full tonight. The harvest moon is coming up at 6:59 p.m. Just look east, and it will look a little bit bigger than other full moons, too, because it is one of the closest approaches to Earth in terms of the moon. The lows tonight, 55 in Boston, 52 in Plymouth. Again, the Cape radiates a little bit better than everyone else, so they're going to cool off a little bit more than the rest of the area. However, the cold doesn't stick around all that long. See this big warmth bubble of heat, I guess you can call it, building to the south? Well, that pushes up ahead of the next warm front, but cold front drops down very quickly from Canada, and as it does so, it's going to give us a chance of seeing some showers and storms. The winds turn around to the west behind it, pumping the cooler air. And I want to show you some of the impacts because right along this front, it's tough to tell right here, but these are all forming along a line associated with the cold front. So that's going to move in later on tomorrow into tomorrow night. And that's why I see right here, this is going to show you out in time as these showers begin to bubble up. Not all that impressive, however, starting tomorrow. Sunday is going to be the day when we have to watch these stronger showers and storms. Couple could produce some gusty winds, a very, very low risk of an isolated spin-up tornado simply because there's a little bit of wind shear out there. But I think the best chance is going to hold off through Sunday. Early Sunday night into Monday morning is when we're going to see that. However, there's going to be a plume of moisture working up the coast, so I can't rule out a little bit of an influence from Julia just in terms of the moisture. How much moisture are we going to see? Well, most of us, less than a half inch. Couple places down towards the Cape and the Islands in extreme western Mass, I have to do kind of a dance here, are going to see up to an inch. I think that's going to be the extreme, maximum. Don't think that's more than, the exception rather than the rule. However, we desperately need the rain. Most of our areas under extreme drought right now, almost 3/4 of Massachusetts seeing that. We've only been about 22% in the past couple of weeks, but now we're well over half, and that is just scary to see. We only saw 3.92 inches so far this summer. What we really need is a tropical system, and we're just not going to get one. There are plenty of them out there, though. Take a look at the Atlantic right now. Here's Julia. She's moving northeast-south, or rather east-southeast at about 7 miles per hour. Winds of 40, but across the entire Atlantic basin, look at all the stuff that's going on. You have Ian. Oh, Ian's over here. Carl's down here. All sorts of stuff. So it is rather busy. But in the meantime, we have our 7-day forecast to talk about. Check it out. It is going to be a nice couple of days through the first half of the weekend. So if you have any weekend plans, I try to squeeze them in on Saturday because by the time we get to Sunday, that's when we begin to introduce the clouds. I don't think the day's a washout. I actually think it's pretty nice. Evening into overnight, those showers and storms. Monday, they linger, clearing up in the afternoon. Tuesday could be some reminiscent clouds, but those are going to burn off quickly. 81 degrees for the high. And then Wednesday and Thursday of next week, we're still stuck in a fall-like pattern for dryness, but a summer-like pattern for warmth. That is my latest forecast for now, but we'll be right back after this break.